Kickstarter was supposed to be the launchpad for the next big thing, a place where small crazy inventors could change the world with their niche products, but unfortunately for a specific breed of entrepreneur, it's become something else entirely. For the right sort of person that knows how to browse knockoff product sites like Alibaba, AliExpress, Temu and several hundred other similar Chinese sites, Kickstarter became the middleman service for pure laziness. Welcome to Kickscammers, the show where we look at clumsy Kickstarters, incompetent Indiegogos and grisly GoFundMes. And today we're exploring the bottom of the barrel. The product's so bad that not only did they fail, but they never belonged to the creator in the first place. These are the Kickscammers who thought they could browse AliExpress, slap a new logo on whatever semi-unique product they could find, run to crowdfunding sites, and then hope that nobody would notice. They were wrong. For example, meet Vak Simbath. In 2014, he launched The Rock, which was supposedly the toughest and smartest smartwatch on the market. He even made a chart comparing it to Pebble and Samsung Galaxy Gear. According to Vak, The Rock won in every single category. There was just one problem. This was discovered pretty early on. The potential backers did what potential backers do best. They dug and dug, and within only a few days, backers found the Z3, a Chinese-made watch that wasn't just similar to the Rock, it was practically the same thing. And Vak's response? He doubled down. He posted 14 reasons why it doesn't matter, and why his Rock was different, despite photos being identical. When the heat got too high, he took to Twitter saying that people act like Amazon and Apple don't use parts from China. Obviously they don't know how to run a business. Watch Shark Tank. And from what I can tell, he never appeared on Shark Tank, so God knows what he was talking about. Regardless, it didn't matter, because Kickstarter didn't agree with him. They pulled the plug after finding evidence of misrepresenting facts. Vak didn't get his $40,000, and The Rock, just like that Red Notice film, was quickly forgotten about, leaving poor old Vak to wander off and start a new business inside the metaverse that allows people to grow virtual cannabis farms that they can then use to trade for real cannabis. I think that's what's going on here. It had something to do with NFTs, crypto and Web 3.0, and thankfully that died on its arse too. Yeah, best we move on, I'd say. Every single game you see on the screen is less than £2, which is roughly about $2.68 or €2.30. This is all thanks to long-time supporter of the channel Instant Gaming, who helped Slopes Gaming grow tremendously in 2025, and hopefully we can continue collaborating in 2026. Seriously, click the link in the description or scan the QR code and you too can get these plus plenty of other games super cheap. And it's not just older or smaller indie games. Newer games like Arc Raiders, that's 27% off. Storage Hunter Simulator is apparently a thing, and that's 49% off. Assetto Corsa Rally is 40% off. Night Rain, which is one of the ones you guys bought the most last year, is now 22% off, and you can even take advantage of pre-ordering that new James Bond game at 28% off, or the one I'm most excited for, Resident Evil Requiem, at 28% off. One great thing I like to do when I want to find a new game to play is go to the search bar, don't type anything in, just hit enter, change the search amount to 0 and let's say, 2 or 3, and voila, endless amounts of fun for less than a cup of coffee. Again, the QR code is on the screen. Anything you buy after scanning that or clicking the link in the description will directly help the channel, and during these tough times on YouTube, that's a huge thanks from me to all of you guys that are able to do it. Happy game hunting, but for now, let's continue on with the video. Sometimes the scam isn't high tech. Sometimes it's just a piece of metal, and sometimes that's all people want. Kirish Metals claimed to be creating handcrafted 3D solid steel beasts. The star of the show was a majestic articulated dragon. It looked premium, it looked custom, it looked like, I don't know, a nerdy bottle opener. Look, I don't know who wants to spend, hang on, $75 on something like this. But hey, look, each to their own. Turns out if you was someone who wanted something like this, then all you had to do was go and look for it, because obviously it already existed as a DIY puzzle kit that you can buy on Alibaba for about $1. The scammer had pleaded to his backers, who all managed to collectively help him hit his goal in only 2 hours, that it was his original design and that the Chinese had actually stolen it from him. So when they suggested that he show some of his original photos or his workshop/tools or sketchbooks, he originally agreed that that would be a great idea, but unsurprisingly, those images never came. Because of this, the project was eventually reported and nuked by Kickstarter themselves, leaving Kirish to try and sell these products via different platforms, that sadly for him, also didn't take kindly to reselling cheaply made still figures at an even crazier markup price. Let's move from the magical D&D world of metal dragons and go all the way to the magical D&D world of metal dice. Obviously I'm going to be bringing up dice, it's one of the most popular search topics on Kickstarter, don't you know? Which makes me laugh because apparently these free roll machine gamers dice were apparently trying something new. Obviously, that wasn't the case. The plan here was to create dice made from a solid piece of metal that would be perfectly weighted and would remove the hard edges found on the corners like other dice, because those dice hurt your hands and damage your game board. I'm sorry, but when have dice ever been perfectly square with super sharp corners? I've never held a die like that. Either way, fixing problems that didn't exist aside, for those sort of people that like to spend good money on something like this, yeah, okay, $10 for 2 D6 machine dice made with solid aluminium that has been brushed and pops and no colour. It isn't all that bad. But you know what's better? 5 for $2. Because obviously these already existed, and no amount of fake video footage of the campaign owner pretending to come up with the design himself would convince the backers otherwise. In fact, if you wanted this set from Kickstarter, it was going to cost you $26 a pop. It couldn't be more obvious of a reselling campaign. What's absolutely hilarious about this is that when he fought his corner saying that the Chinese once again stole from him, spoiler alert, these dice were available long before this campaign went live. He not only showed proof of his dice that, by the way, were not cut from a singular bar of aluminium, but were instead moulded, meaning that they were not going to be perfectly balanced, but after he was outed, he also had the gall to show off another design that he supposedly came up with. Until backers did a quick reverse image search and discovered that that too was stolen from someone on eBay. Come on, man! Remember, if you can find a product on Alibaba in only 3 clicks, that doesn't mean you're a customer, it means you're a victim of someone trying to sell to you with a 500% markup. Because of all of this, the campaign was obviously quickly removed from Kickstarter and the campaign owner deleted his profile shortly after. Good riddance. Yep, it's time to look at a failed VR project. I know you're all gamers, I know what you're after. And this one, unlike the others in the video, is actually quite recent. And also, unlike the others in this video, isn't stolen from places like Alibaba or Temu. This one's stolen from a much bigger Chinese company, but more on that in a little bit. The campaign video itself shows off footage supposedly recorded directly from the headset itself. It looks slick, the image looks sharp, and with an early bird offer of only $329, it was a steal. Damn right it was a steal. The campaign wanted a humble $50,000 for a VR headset, which if you ask me is the biggest red flag here. Their previous campaign was for an unofficial video game sequel to Doki Doki Literature Club, which was also funded before getting taken down for intellectual property theft. And this, well, obviously this was no different.
I'm trying for the first time in my life this that everyone wanted to try it, the Pimax 3 Mail. So
here's a prototype from well-known AR and VR company Pimax called Dream, shown off at the VR AR Expo in Shanghai 2025, which is, let's be honest, the exact same product. And as this headset had really only been shown off at this and possibly a few other expos by the time this campaign went live, it's very likely that the campaign owner went to one of these expos, took some footage of the machine, went back, set up a Kickstarter and then tried to flog it himself. How ballsy is that? It was a risky move that honestly is surprising to think how anyone could get away with this. And thankfully they didn't, as one of the coders of the original headset found out about the fake campaign, reported it, ran to Reddit for help, and then together, after multiple mass takedowns, the campaign was eventually dropped. Since then, the Pimax headset has officially been released and has had some insanely good reviews, and the campaign owners who tried to rip it off have surprisingly not deleted their account. So who knows, they may appear again in a future video on this channel. Right, the lesson is simple here. If the campaign owner isn't willing to show you the process of making something like this, or you can find it on another AliExpress type website for $2, it's not a Kickstarter, it's a Kickscammer. And as long as people keep chasing the next big thing without doing simple reverse image searches, there will always be someone ready to sell them a metallic dragon with a ridiculous markup. If you or anyone you know has bought Chinese products from Kickstarter, let us know in the comments section. Not so we can all laugh at you or anything like that. Oh no. But because, well, leaving comments helps channels like this grow. Well, I suppose I should have just stuck with the laughing at you thing, shouldn't I? And there you have it, guys, the first video of 2026. Hope you liked it. Hope you're noticing a few updates in regards to the way I'm editing. Obviously, I brought a bit of a mascot into the fold now for these Kickscammer videos. And yeah, the great Lazy Game Reviews once said in an interview that I watched of him that you should always try to improve. And I see too many channels out there that are like 10, 20 years old that look exactly the same as they did when they started, as they do now. I'm always trying to improve. That means it takes a little bit longer, but I really like the output at the end. Hopefully you guys do too, and hopefully yeah, you liked this first video of 2026. Happy New Year, everyone. Hope you had a great holiday, and yeah, lots and lots of great content. Well, I think it's great content is coming in 2026. But this is the part of the video where I give a massive shout out to all of my supporters of the show. All of these names that you see down here, these are the names of the people that support the show and allow me to make videos like this every single week, along with the sponsors of the show. If I didn't have these people, I wouldn't have a YouTube channel, seriously. So thank you guys so much for allowing me to make these sort of videos. I've got loads in the back burner. There's actually 3 scripted Kickscammers, completely scripted. One's already recorded as well, already done as of the recording of this. And I'm working on 2 other complete histories as well. So yeah, definitely sort yourselves out, sign up and become a supporter of the show and see them before they go public. Thank you to all of you guys. With an extra big shout out going to Livestream, Paisley Simpson, Thomas Coyote Baxter, Dina81, Kumatura, Villarreal, Derekuda, Enraged Gecko, Academo84, Ian Quell, Arista, Mind of the Unsane, XZX, Andrew Dalton, Bram Perez, British Video Game Nerd, Chev Matic, Chris aka Brackman, Conrad Constantine, Action Saxon, Dino, Insidious Bliss, Jay is Manchild, Jabba Al Aiden, Jeff Mianowski, John Yaskatis, Keiju Samurai 1985, Livestream, Mike Fallon, Nicholas Bertner, Paul Float, Retro to Next Gen, aka Lou, Richard Algic, Robert Ramsey, Ryan Burford, Shadow Dragon, Swift Justice Peterson, The Sneaky Ferret, Vitas Varnes, and Ye Old Ham Burglar. Thank you guys so much for your support. But yeah, until next time, this is DJ Slope signing out, and hopefully I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.